How would it feel to have a thriving fitness business and have the freedom to enjoy life at the fullest? Well, that is exactly what the Trainer Revenue Multiplier Show is going to give you. My name is Matthew Park. This is Jaime Filer.
Hey guys.
And we are here to serve. Oh my goodness. Look at Jaime Filer, everybody. Welcome to Jaime's show. I love it. And this microphone you have, Jaime, like this is amazing.
I'm going to give full credit to Laurent. Our team is amazing. Laurent and I are friends, we're colleagues, and he just said, I think you are the kind of person who deserves to elevate their game when they're teaching TRM Gold. So I want to get you a Hanukkah present. And I just thought that was so considerate and awesome. So credit to Laurent for making me sound better.
Laurent, you're amazing, buddy. And Jaime's voice sounds incredible in case you're listening right now. Just a heads up. I love it. So Jaime, ironically, it's going to be the end of December pretty soon. I have no idea where December went. It's flown by. Your business has exploded. TRM has been going to the next level. The last year has been so amazing on multiple levels. And I'm just excited to share with you and hear your experiences, your lessons, collectively, so we can share with our audience.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. And who better than people who are currently in the trenches, going through what they're going through. So yeah, I love it. Let's dive in.
I love it. So do you want to go first, Amy, and share what's one lesson or experience you've gone through in the last 12 months has been a game changer for you?
Honestly, it's been that you should never be without a coach or a mentor, or even a mentorship. If you can find a group of people, maybe not necessarily just one-to-one, you have to surround yourself with like-minded people, if not people who are better than you are. That's just what it comes down to. I was talking, I believe it was with a member of TRM, and they were just saying how they realized in talking to a lot of their old high school friends or college friends that they had literally just outgrown them. I had Karina in my most recent breakout room, and she said she realized that she had no friends who were momtrepreneurs. And so she has joined 3 Facebook groups just in the last week. One that happens to be local, full of mompreneurs. So I think you need to constantly be learning from someone or a group of people if you want to get better. I myself, I know Matthew, you know this, I've spent over $41,000 in mentorship since January of this year, and no part of me regrets any dollar amount spent.
What's amazing is you've invested $41,000 and you've gotten probably returns of 5 or 10x that and back from your business.
I couldn't even begin to qualify it because of the relationships that I've built. So yeah, absolutely, my business has grown, but it's almost similar to like a Facebook ad. It's not like by putting $500 in for the month of December, I'm going to get $500 worth of clients. In March of next year, once one email a week has gone out, and once I've been setting up my nurturing campaigns via text message, Facebook Messenger, etc., maybe in March or April, I'll get $2,000 worth of clients, right? So you invest in it now, you let it sit, you let it percolate, you nurture it, and then maybe 4, 5, 6 months from now, next year, something is going to absolutely blow up.
That's a great way to start things off on this podcast, Jaime, for lessons learned for the year. And, we've noticed you grow like amazing in the last 12 months. It's been insane. Like, the way you've been expanding your learnings, your circle of friends, things you're sharing in group discussions or TRM Gold with clients. It's been amazing. So we're definitely seeing that. It's kind of cool to see when you like how you invest and how those show up on the external.
Yeah. Absolutely. What have you learned?
Well, I'm going to actually lean on you on this one, Jaime. So I've seen how well you execute in you for how many years, and you've known me for quite a while. Like we've really known each other back and forth. So one lesson I've taken this year is execution. And it's one of my weaknesses, actually. It's funny to say that out loud. And really, like, when I see you do what you do in TRM with our clients, in your business, like, it's really amazing. And one lessons I took away this year was just getting things done, right? Things we get done, and not letting certain things get in the way or whatever it might look like. So that's definitely the one thing. We've had a lot of personal change, as you probably know, with our family this year, with the move and everything. So that elevation in our life has provided us a beautiful new experience for our family, which is super cool, but also challenged us to certain ways to make us level up, right?
Yeah.
So I've realized that, it doesn't happen to you or for you. Everything happens in a certain way, to make you better.
Yeah.
So that's definitely one of the things that I have learned.
I love that. I love that. And thank you for the credit. I appreciate that.
You bet, James.
Next thing, also similar to investing, investing in people will never be a waste of money. This year we hired, well, first of all, Katie went full-time. So she quit her job and then came on as full-time head coach of Filer Fitness. We invested in 2 assistant coaches, only one of whom is still working for us. We had a setter go full-time. And like I said offline, we're going to hire another setter towards the end of this year, beginning of January. And I'm pretty sure that's why our business has grown considerably, because I am no longer bogged down with 100 clients worth of check-ins. And I have availed myself to take anywhere from 8 to 12 sales calls a week. So, and then I don't see it as a loss that I pay my assistant coach per client and I only make a percentage, because look how much time freedom I've gained back, but also look how much more availability I have to take more sales calls and do more mentorship work in order to grow the business even more. So I think a lot of coaches hold themselves back and say, you know what, I don't want to pay an appointment setter, or I don't want to pay a closer, or I don't want to pay an assistant coach. But in my head, my assistant coach makes me money. She doesn't cost me money, because if it wasn't for her, again, I'd be looking at 100 clients worth of check-ins over the course of 7 days. And that's just not an effective use of my time. I can impact people still from behind a screen by giving out free content and creating ebooks and PDFs and even taking sales calls, but she can serve them better, which means they stay on longer. So I don't see it as, man, Asia's costing us so much or my payroll's so high. It's like, wow, I can't believe I didn't do this sooner.
That's really good, Jaime. I like that. Oof. Mine would be definitely a family one. Number 2, I've noticed that, I mentioned the end of on the platinum / group coaching call today about, one thing that was personal on my side was my commitment to spend time with my kids every day, even a few minutes in the course of the day, quality time. And it's one of the things I wasn't good at prior to this year. So this year I committed, like, I really want to make sure and see, like, when I'm with my kids, I'm with my kids, even with things happening around my business or our business and kind of growing things out. And man, the connection I have with Lily and Jimmy has just been way different. Actually, like, looking into their eyes and like embracing a moment is something that I've learned as a lesson as a dad, even though it means I've gone through a crazy year this year with moving and everything. Those moments, they're in my heart. They're really in my heart. As a business entrepreneur, I think we get so focused on external things, outside of that. And we all do it as entrepreneurs. But that's one lesson that I want to take into the lesson this year, going into the new year. Quality as opposed to quantity is so essential.
Yeah. 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 I love that. I love that, which would probably go into my next lesson. It's when you set a boundary, stick to it. Not only will I think, Matthew, it was you who told me to read a book, or you sent me a book, and it was like, I think it was The Richest Man in Babylon. Oh my gosh. And essentially what they said was, if you mix business and pleasure or business with family, then you've completely colored both of those experiences. If you let your kids hang out while you're doing work, you're not fully in work and you're not fully with your kids. And then we can talk about distractions and multitasking as another lesson, but set a boundary so that you are fully present with your work. And when you're in it, you're getting a lot more done, a lot more of that deep focus. But also, you can enjoy your kids or your family or your dog or just alone time a whole lot more. So when you make a plan to put your laptop away or delete the high level app or shut that down on your phone at 6 p.m. every day, actually stick to it so you'll feel so much better when you're in work mode and when you're in family mode.
That's a good one, Jaime. My third one is discomfort. And I want to share it as a lesson that, some people think when you start to grow a business that it gets easier. No, you have to become better in your business. It doesn't get easier. The problems just get bigger. The challenges keep getting bigger. It means, of course, you got to learn the skills or get better in certain ways. So one thing I've learned this year is embracing when things get really hard, stick in those things and journal on them. Be quiet with them for a while. Let them be in the motion for a bit. Don't deflect them. And, when things get messy, usually there's something beautiful on the other side that's going to come out of all of that. And I really take those as transforming experiences into beautiful gold moments that you can go forward on, as opposed to just always running. No, I want to transform something into something better, because I don't want to keep running away from something and kind of in the closet. I want to really feel it. And what can I take away from this to become better and learn from this so I can transform into a better in certain ways? So that third one definitely was a big one for me.
I love it. The next one, I guess, to play off my last one would be how much of a hindrance distraction and multitasking is. I've read articles and blogs that have talked about the fact that it takes, again, depending on what you read, anywhere from 11 to 13 minutes to get your brain back on task if you task switched. So if I'm doing check-ins and I see a light on my phone go off and I answer it and then I come back to check-ins, I've like technically come back to check-ins, but it will take me 11 to 13 minutes to get back in the flow of doing check-ins that I had before I left the task. Same thing if you're creating an ebook or you're writing a recipe PDF or something like that, and then you do a couple check-ins, you've lost your state of flow. So I highly recommend getting, I'm going to butcher his name. It's Mikhail Csikszentmihalyi, something to that effect. He is the foremost guru in getting in flow, but also what happens to your brain when you distract yourself while in flow. And that's been another big difference maker. Just turn off everything, do one thing really, really well, whether it's 40, 60, or 90 minutes, and then go off and do the next thing.
Well put, Jaime. Well put. The fourth one for me was commitment. And when I look at commitment, I look at it as when we made the move this year and we went all in on something, I've realized that lesson that we took away, me and Genevieve, I transferred to TRM as well. And probably you've noticed a difference, Jaime, as well, in the commitment of how we're growing TRM. It's like either you can, it's funny because as you grow a business more and more and more, and you surround yourself with other people, and you also keep expanding, you ask the question, what are you fully committed to, right? At the end of the day, where can you commit and go to the next level? And this can be also in home. It can be with your partner. It can be with your dogs, it can be with your kids and your business. And I've learned that less commitments, but all into the commitments is going to create a better result. And it's one of the things I've learned this year is commit to less, but when those commitments go all in those commitments, and you'll see the beautiful results that come out of them.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. Similar to going all in and not getting distracted, right? Like in life, don't get distracted by shiny objects, and in work, don't get distracted by the little tasks. I think that's beautiful. My next one is don't be afraid to ask for what you want. And this applies on so many levels. Matthew, even in the last 4 weeks, we've had several discussions where I've asked for what I've wanted, and it's difficult and it's uncomfortable. But again, it helps both of us grow. And this applies to, you guys in your business, if you want referrals, ask for the darn referral. If you want for before and after photos, testimonials, if you want to use a conversation between you and a client on your social media, ask for what you want. If you want to increase your prices, again, granted, you also have to increase your value and your presence and your energy, but ask for what you want. And then I think Alvin would be most proud of this one. Ask the universe for what you want. There is nothing you can't have. What you're seeking is also seeking you, and you can't get in your own way about it. If it's not meant for you, it's not meant for you. But again, you have to at least ask. You have to at least ask your client for a referral. And if they don't want to give you one, that's their prerogative. You still have to ask the universe for the abundance, for the clients, for the house, for the peace of mind, the peace in your life, the lack of turmoil in your head. But if you don't ask, you'll never receive.
Yeah. That's a really beautiful share, Jaime, on that. That's a collective growth, I think, for both of us. And it's so nice to share that, and even if we write off the lesson of just feedback, for you and I and for the whole team, that was something that we've gotten better and better and better at. And it's so liberating to share feedback and like build trust and relationships. And it's funny because it's like your part of your mind's like, well, it's going to be over here. But in reality, it's not as big as you think it's going to be.
Yeah.
And it's just a beautiful thing, I think, for bonding, whether it's a client or it's a teammate, in a company, or it's your partner, and it's funny because that definitely was one of the things I took away this year was feedback, asking for and receiving both collectively. It makes you better. It's so awesome.
Totally. Is that yours? Do I get a new one? Do I go there?
You can keep riding the wave.
Okay. The next one would be something we learned this year. Again, and this was because Katie came on full time, is you got to have a WhatsApp group for your clients. There's just something about that sense of community that is outside of your public Facebook group and the one-to-one check-ins with the coach, where the clients can just commiserate and complain and congratulate each other. And they realize that they're not on this journey alone. We held the first Filer Fitness retreat back in July. And I'll admit it, out of the 11 women who came, like 7 or 8 of them were Katie's clients. And it was because they'd already met and spent so much time together in WhatsApp. It was like, of course we're going to come because we want to meet our best friends in person. And so obviously we encouraged Asia to do that too. And for whatever reason, I'm the one holding on to not doing it, but I need to. But again, so not only is the WhatsApp group chat making these great connections, but then we had more buy-in when it came to the Filer Fitness retreat. And if we want to charge for it next year, we know that people will pay because again, everyone is craving connection. So why not add that as part of your value? It costs nothing. You don't even have to participate in the chat. I would just be there to moderate it. But it just adds, again, another layer of accountability and communication and connection that will keep people on your team long after the effects of the weight loss and the confidence and the muscle gain have worn off.
You may have just given a concept, Jaime, going into the new year for TRM.
Oh, well, Matthew, you used to do it too. I remember being in a WhatsApp group chat with Brittany and Steph. You had us in our own little accountability group and it was great. I think, you want to bring that back. I think that would be awesome.
That was actually a really nice share, Jaime. Actually, I love that.
Yeah.
It's funny, as we're sort of having this talk back and forth, to me, it's just so cool that, I've known you now for 6-7 years now, Jaime. We met over in Super League back in the day. Mm-hmm. And I know I'm kind of going a little bit off of our lessons learned, but I wanted to share the journey because we've both seen each other and where we've grown, since that 6.5-7 year mark. Yeah. And I saw a picture of us. It was you, I, and Dave.
Yeah.
And we're like literally in this gym in Las Vegas. And it's so funny to see the evolution of growth and how the floors keep rising, the filters keep improving, the goals keep expanding.
Yeah.
And we just keep, growing in certain ways. And to me, that's kind of like, I think it's a lesson learned as well, is looking how far we have come, in those years, in all areas of our life and our business, not just from business, but the whole.
Yeah. I love it. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah. I know the photo you're talking about too. That's so funny.
Yeah, that's the initial one. Totally. I'll share a last one, and maybe you want to share one more there, Jaime, at the end as well. Is funny enough, it's one of my strengths, but I noticed I wasn't practicing it as much. It's vision. And, it's so funny because I realized a lesson this year was a bigger vision. And I love to dream. I love to think. I'm a Pisces. I love to go and think of, but I found myself thinking almost on the outside of things externally too much. And I love big thinking. Like, it's one of the things that gets me so excited.
Yeah.
So vision was a lesson for me, is that no matter what business you've got, personal training, online coaching, gym, whatever it might look like, or coaching, having the vision that excites you and putting that vision out there and not being scared to go for a big one. Because even if you know what the vision is, you can always backtrack to create what it might look like, to create the opportunity of even getting halfway there or partway there, because if the vision was so big.
I love it. Okay, so then I guess I will end with part B is, don't forget to create action steps, because I know that I am a Virgo. I am an earth sign. I'm very grounded. I can't necessarily think big, but I can think in terms of steps and stages. So I could put the 100K month out there in my head, but it makes more sense to my brain if I say, who do I need on my team to help me get to 100K? How many clients do I need to take? What should, my margins be, this and that. So as soon as you create that big vision and you have, your goal and your rocket ship, think about the immediate action steps you can take to actually start reaching it.
This is why I freaking appreciate you. Yeah, this is why we get along so freaking well.
Yeah.
I love that, Jaime. This is the reason why you teach, like why we kind of, coach the whole 9 yards. But I love that, because I wanted to share one last nugget, because we've kind of all learned this, Jaime, all of us, you, I, Tanny, Laurent, Isaac, all the leaders, is the value of strength.
Yeah.
With a collective. We sort of, like, in the beginning, we kind of knew, but didn't really know. It was like everyone was doing their thing. And then as we started to grow more, we understood, okay, here's more of the zone. Here's more of the zone. And we're going to get better as we grow. But
Amen.
I definitely find that's a lesson that we've all learned collectively in all of our business.
Yep. You got it.
So you are kind of the queen of finishing off this podcast. I do a subpar job. You do, like, what I would call an excellent job. So can I pass the baton over to you for that, Jaime?
You got it. Guys, if you liked what you heard, please make sure that you rate, share, subscribe. We've got a whole lot more value coming to you in 2024. We are excited. As Mathew said, we just keep elevating here in TRM, and that includes the podcast, the type of guests we have on, the topics we discuss. We are going to go next level with you as you go next level with your business. So make sure that you're following us at Trainer Revenue Multiplier on all the platforms. And was that good? Did I miss anything?
Okay, we're at time 10. That was, if there was a 10X, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, grandmas and grandpas, that was absolutely fantastic.
So until next year or next week, I guess, hope you start executing on some of these lessons and that you got a lot of value from today's episode.
Great work, Jaime. Fantastic, man. Cheers to many more to come, man. Let's do it.
Hey.
With your new microphone, by the way.
With my new microphone.